This is it. You all are attending the largest event that Blockchain Student Society has hosted to date. Please take your seats. We will commence this conference in 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Welcome to the Block Party.
All right, this is it. Finally, it's here. Good morning, everyone. And welcome to Block Party 2023, Lamar University's first ever technology conference. This conference will have a focus on the different emerging technologies ranging from Bitcoin, blockchain, to artificial intelligence. My name is Tin. I'm a former technology researcher at National Association of Realtors and the co-founder and current president of Blockchain Student Society. We're a nonprofit student-led organization, and we are currently hosting this event. I've been fortunate to have witnessed this space transform over the past few years. From the start of Bitcoin in 2008 to the emergence of different technologies, ranging from decentralized finance to NFTs. We are seeing a boom in usage and a huge increase in demand for talent and for work. And that's why Block Party 2023 is so important. We're bringing together important technology leaders to the table to share trends, ideas, and knowledge, ranging from different industries, from computer science, business, and engineering. We aim to help on-ramp you into the crypto and Web3 world. I encourage you to use these next few hours to really soak in all this new information to expand your network. And if you stay to the end, we have a special digital collectible to commemorate your attendance of this event. And now we're going to kick things off with a session from our first speaker. He is a passionate technologist with over 20 years experience. He is a co-founder and president of Lacrisma, founder of Houston Blockchain Alliance, and co-founder of Smarterium. Please welcome Mahesh Sachitao.
Imagine at the end of today's conference, we have a high-stakes tournament of rock, paper, scissors, where the winner gets 4 tickets, lifetime tickets, for the Lamar Cardinals basketball games. So of course, you need somebody trustworthy that can keep these scores for each of the games. But these are lifetime tickets. Everybody wants to participate. We cannot find anybody who will keep score. So what is the solution for this kind of an issue? Good morning, everybody. My name is Mahesh Sachitao. As Teen mentioned, I am the co-founder of Lacrisma, where we are a Web3 fintech startup, where we are building a privacy-focused marketplace for customer financial data. So lenders and other financial institutions can bring better outcomes to their customers. I'm also the co-founder of the Houston Blockchain Alliance, where we are bringing awareness and adoption of blockchain technology to the Houston area. So before we get started, Tan, and the rest of the BSS team has done an absolutely fantastic job. And of course, Lamar University for putting this conference together and bringing all of us here together. So can you give another round of applause, please, for all of them? Yeah, so before we get started, I wanted to have a quick round of questions for you guys. By a show of hands, who is actually working on something in blockchain right now? And who's owned some crypto in the last year or so? My condolences. And who has heard of Web3 so many times that they have no idea what's going on? So, okay, just as I expected, we have a good mix of experts as well as beginners. So basically what I wanted to do is kind of really give a very brief overview of blockchain, crypto, and Web3 so that you guys have a good foundation for the rest of the speakers who are going to dive deep into each of these topics. So let's go back to the problem that we've got. So one potential solution is, instead of trying to rely on one person to, Yeah, so instead of one person relying on one person to actually keep the score, what we do is we give a whiteboard to everybody, and we give everybody the chance to keep score. But we have a few rules. Number one, you're going to be writing on the whiteboard with a permanent marker. And the second thing is that before anybody writes anything on the whiteboard, you have a meeting and agree on what's actually the result of that last game or the last round. And a majority of you guys have to then agree that this is the score. And then once they do agree on that, that's what's going to be written on every whiteboard that's out there. So that, in essence, is essentially how blockchain technology actually works. So blockchain, in a more formal way, is a decentralized, secure, transparent, and immutable network of data. So it's decentralized. Going back to our tournament, each whiteboard that we have in the room could be considered a node. Essentially, in the world of blockchain, each of these is a server where you download essentially the code that runs that particular blockchain. So if you're trying to run a Bitcoin blockchain, that's what you would be doing. You'd be downloading a Bitcoin code, and you would be able to run and maintain the Bitcoin blockchain. So it's decentralized in that sense. There is no single person or organization that actually owns or runs the blockchain. Secure because obviously everybody's heard of crypto. So crypto are assets that are tied to a particular blockchain. So again, going back to Bitcoin, it is secure because unless you have the keys, you cannot move any of those assets or transfer them or do anything with those assets. So they are secure in that sense. It's transparent because just like our tournament, all of those whiteboards are open for everybody to view. So anybody walking on the street can come in and they can look at any of those whiteboards and see, all right, well, this is what the score is. And in the blockchain space, we have things called block explorers where you can actually go in and look at everything that's happened from the beginning of time for that particular blockchain. So if you want to go see what happened on day one of the Bitcoin blockchain, you can actually go and do that. And then it's immutable. So just like you've written with a permanent marker on your whiteboard, anything written to a blockchain cannot be changed. Now, with blockchain, it's a little more complicated than just using a permanent marker, right? We have cryptographic ways that we keep the data secure. I don't want to get into more technical details, but that's basically what it is. But essentially, the idea is that once something's written to a blockchain, it is immutable and it cannot be changed, unless more than 50% of the participants, the nodes, agree on making that change. And in many cases, these are very large number of people, and trying to get them together to agree on a change is going to be very, very difficult to do. So, and it's essentially public to anybody. Anybody can go in and look at what's going on. Private blockchain is, of course, the opposite of public. So the data that's written to a public that actually have, that run this blockchain, right? And then this conference is going to be doing a lot of this stuff, right? So, but let me very briefly talk about the different use cases of blockchain technology. Everybody's familiar with cryptocurrencies and the use for payments and for remittances and so on and so forth. But blockchain technology can be used in supply chains. So if you want to keep track of your pharmaceuticals or your diamonds or your leafy vegetables, all of these are actual use cases of blockchain technology currently. Banking and finance, I mean, I think most people know kind of where that is being used. Of course, cryptocurrencies, but it's also trade finance, right? So a bunch of trade finance happens on blockchain as well. E-commerce, I'm sure you've read a bunch of articles where Overstock accepts Bitcoin as payment. And of course, in retail, again, going back to the supply chain, Walmart is using blockchain technology to keep track of their produce, and a number of other companies are actually using blockchain for that purpose. Healthcare is a big one. Electronic health records are being stored on blockchain so that there is a clear understanding of where a person's health records are and where they started and where they're going. Gaming, of course, NFTs, the metaverse, everything that you've heard about, a lot of that runs on different blockchains. So that is a very huge use case for blockchain technology as well. And of course, real estate. Tokenization of real estate is something that's happening more often. There is actually a company based in Houston that is tokenizing commercial real estate right now. It's a 4-year-old company called Red Swan. They've been doing it for a while. So, and there are now companies that have actually sold single-family homes as NFTs. So there are multiple use cases. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So they've actually worked with the government, with the local government, to actually mint an NFT for a single-family home. So there's multiple different use cases for this. So where does crypto fit into this? Like we talked about, right? All of the crypto that we kind of hear about are all those public blockchains that I just mentioned. Bitcoin, Ethereum, all of these are cryptocurrencies as well as their blockchains. So we talked about, I mentioned that this is completely decentralized. That means you could go tonight, download the code, run a node, and join the network. But why would you do that? It obviously costs you money to get the servers. It obviously costs you money to run them. So it basically works as an incentive for you to actually run and maintain the blockchain that you want to do. So that is the primary reason that it was actually started, right? But obviously there are multiple other use cases for crypto itself, right? We can use Bitcoin or any of these as an asset that you can hold instead of gold, for example. You can obviously use it for payments, remittances, all of those things. But with coins like Ethereum, for example, you can use that, or you absolutely need to use it if you want to interact with the Ethereum blockchain. If you've heard of this concept of smart contracts, which is essentially code sitting on a blockchain, that's what you would be using. If you were to execute a smart contract, you need some ETH to be able to do that on the Ethereum blockchain. Of course, it's peer-to-peer payments. That's essentially the title of the Bitcoin white paper, which basically started this whole thing. And of course, it's secure, like what we do. Any of those. Whereas in the so is the duality.